Okay, that should fix the issue. This scene that I'm using right now, I didn't actually connect my microphone to start. So that should be working now. Can you guys hear me? And look, my face. Oh my god, who would have thought? Been there, done that. Oh yeah, it's good, fixed. All right, how's it going, everyone? But yeah, so whatever. I'm gonna turn that down a bit. But yeah, I'm using my phone on a tripod as my camera. It's not good. Like, it's the most sketch solution. I literally have it Bluetooth connected to a separate program within my computer that tricks my computer into wirelessly thinking that my phone, which is an iPhone 8, is my webcam, which I'm then using to import into this scene. I need to figure out stuff. Shorter ears than I expected. No, they're still pretty big. And actually, you see, when I was born, they were actually all pointed still. So there's literally photos of me as like a newborn baby where my ears do look like elf ears, which is kind of funny. Doesn't have anything to do with my affinity for elves, but you know. Fear Deviant, what's going on? Chunksteropa, what's going on? NN, what's going on? Alto, oh, that's a blast from the past. What's going on, buddy? Video quality isn't bad at all. Yeah, it's not too bad, so that's the reason I'm using it as is. So here's what I was thinking of for the plan for the day, guys. Because this is going to be a long stream, but just wanted to make sure my shit is actually functioning, which it appears to be doing, which is good. Hey, Zernies, how's it going? Could be on a cheap webcam. Exactly. I kind of want to buy a... The goat has returned. Aw, thank you. What's up? What's up, guys? God, it feels so weird. There's something about this, okay? Because it's weird knowing it's been like at least 9 months. Let me check. Not 9 months since the last stream, because I streamed, like, it did a rogue stream in April or something. Let me check the archive channel. Oh my, look, I actually figured this out. So, for those of you who don't know, I actually have an archive channel. So, it's where all the streams and all the videos I've made have been posted. Yeah, the last stream, which I only got around to uploading the other day, was, yeah, in the end of April. You know, it's weird because this is something that became so second nature to me, just streaming, that it feels so weird to be doing. It feels weird knowing how long it's been, but it doesn't feel like that long at all. Like, it feels like I'm slipping right back into it. And I don't know how my camera presence is because I was a faceless streamer for 4 years. So definitely give me points on that. It's going to take some getting used to here, and stream's going to be very erratic. But, you know, here we are. We're a thing still. We are a thing. So what I found out today, or rather, not today, but I had an idea of this. It actually only got uploaded today. I'm rambling already. Is, if I open up my comments tab here in YouTube Studio, I saw this comment the other day. That's not the great. Work the game. We all know this channel. Okay? Like, if you play FF14 or if you're in the MMO space in general, chances are you've run across them. I saw this, and I knew, okay, whenever these guys see a video that they find interesting, they normally do a reaction or discussion video on it. So I was joking with my friends in the exclusive section of our Discord. You watched his reaction this morning? What's up, Zane? Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So we are going to watch that today. We're going to do a bit of a React-Ception. I am going to react to him reacting to me. Because I couldn't think of anything fucking else to do. Might log into 14 a bit later. I don't know. I have my sub up. Like, I've logged in a couple times and I've messed around a bit with my friends. Like, I've run a dungeon or two. Like, I just want to clear the record. I accidentally cut off a Twitch notification. Oops, sorry. One thing I'm going to need to work on is my events bar is now been moved, so I can't. Sorry, I need to fix this. But yeah, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follows, guys. Yeah. I should probably make a YouTube post for this, since this is the first stream in forever. And we're going to be live for a couple hours probably, so I'll throw something up on the YouTube creator tab. But yeah, so we're going to react to me being reacted to. There's another video of me being reacted to from like a year ago I could watch as well, but that one's like an hour because it was on the So Long Shadowbringers video, which that'll take forever to get through. Yeah, I'll make a quick channel post. And we can go over comments as well if people want to see like all the comments I've gotten over the last while. But yeah, clearing things up. I am coming back to 14. I am coming back to content creation. That whole video was explaining my absence. As I said in the video, I'm going to be easing back into things slowly, but I'm not done at this very moment. Boobies, I can never forget that name. That name is something I definitely remember. Super cool that you got noticed by Work the Game. Oh yeah, it's definitely interesting. Definitely the biggest YouTuber I've gotten noticed by. I mean, I knew Kogan and like talked with him since before his channel was bigger than mine, because he absolutely exploded about a year and a bit ago. Like, I was talking to him when he had about 100 subscribers, and now he and I have known each other. I haven't talked to him in months, of course, but yeah. So the two FF14 YouTubers I've had anything to do with, historically Kogan, and now Work the Game people know who I am, so that's interesting. I love Ko. Yeah, Ko's really funny. I was wondering what happened to him, because I'd check in on YouTube from time to time during the time I was gone, and I saw that he basically stopped uploading for a bit as well. I'm like, oh wait, what happened? But yeah, so that video, the why I quit FF14, that was to explain my absence. That wasn't to try and... I was expecting like maybe 300-400 views. Not 21,000 in 4 days. Like, that doesn't happen for me normally. And it just reinforced me coming back and be like, okay, I don't know how this fucking website works. Or today. Yeah, he did upload today. I was just thinking like a couple weeks ago. Another thing that's being a pain in the ass right now is trying to actually find my phone. I need to get a webcam and not just use my phone, because it's blocking up my second monitor so bad right now. So this is dumb at the end of the day, but I figured you guys might find it cool. I didn't think the thumbnail I had at the moment was going to be actually any good. So, where is it? What the fuck did I do with it? Oof. What folders did I put it in? Shit. Did I put it in rants? No. I didn't put it in shorts. I didn't put it in the Endwalker playthrough. Oh my god, it's Notorious Locker. What's up, Randall? Randall, I'm going to be in Maryland in a couple days for a couple weeks, so if you're in that area, let me know. Link. Let's see. Link, it's on the Ginger Prime channel. Oh yeah, I know. I'm trying to find a fucking thumbnail, because I made 2 versions of the thumbnail for the Why I Quit FF14 video, and I figured you guys might have an interest in it if you guys are interested enough in my channel to show up for a stream. I'm just trying to find where the hell I put it. It's just gone missing. Okay, I'm getting to the point where I have stopped caring. It's not on the archive channel. I will find it at some point. It's just a misunderstanding. No worries, buddy. No worries. I don't even know what I'm doing at this point, because this is becoming a serious pain in the ass. Fuck. Off topic. It's not in there. FF14. It's not in there. And Walker playthrough. It sure as shit isn't in there. Okay, whatever. Whatever. Let's actually get on to the meat and potatoes of things. I've stalled long enough. And stalling is something I do well, but not something I'm interested in doing too much right now. Yeah, there we go. That brought up a completely different channel because I slightly mistyped it. There we go. There we go, guys. All right. Tell me how the audio levels are once we get into this, because I have no clue what I'm doing. Monitor 1. All right, there we go. Here we go, guys. Here we go. Wait, what? What's Lockerdom. You know, I've heard my name being mispronounced a lot of ways. Can't hear the video, of course. At all? Great. Is it not capturing desktop audio right now, or what's going on? Could you guys hear the music that was playing? Like beforehand, the Skyrim music, or could you not even hear that? Because we might have a... God, I should have actually checked things. No? Okay, great. What are my current headphones at? Set it. Okay, they're on Realtek. I love things being scuffed, don't you guys? It's great. Speakers. Yeah, it was on speakers, Realtek. Okay. What about now? Can you hear the music now? I changed the settings. Can you guys hear Skyrim music? There you go. All right. So somehow the yeah, okay, turn it back down then. Somehow things shit out. All right. God damn it, man. This is so scuffed. So scuffed. All right. So now let's actually get into it. Now we can actually, good God. What a great start. What a great return, eh?
Well, I just want to jump right into this video specifically. That this was sent over to me, and the video is called "Why I Quit Final Fantasy XIV," and this is by Lockerdom, and hopefully I'm not butchering the name. Now I have not
butchering. Okay, so I've heard my name pronounced or mispronounced a lot of different. I swear to God, if my 1 second. Yep, he's on the fucking roof, of course. Anyway. I've heard my name mispronounced a lot of ways, mostly Lokidom. Lockerdom's a first, considering that there's no R in the word, but you know.
In this video yet, and so we're gonna do a reaction to this video, and
you guys can hear all this, right? Tell me if it needs to be louder and less scuffed. Well, no, it needs to be less scuffed, but.
As I think of the best way to start this video, I want to just be as open and honest as I can. Obviously, I've been struggling with Final Fantasy XIV and its current direction, and there's a chance that this video and this reaction to Why I Quit Final Fantasy XIV by
Randall,
hopefully not butchering the name Lockerdom might
Lockerdom,
come off as
okay.
a little bit
now there's a Y in it that we don't know about.
Their sentiments, or I might be completely in a different category altogether. But this is going to be a reaction video.
Sounds good. Okay,
and
cool.
This isn't a video that surprises me. In fact, I've been seeing these continually pop up on the YouTube algorithm from time to time, and this was sent to me by you guys as just kind of wanting my thoughts on this video specifically. And so I'm going to give them to you guys here, my open and honest and probably raw thoughts about the current state of Final Fantasy XIV, a game that I have over 13 years with, a game that I do love dearly.
13,
but
so
one of the things, as before I was sitting down to actually film and actually just make sure that the audio levels were correct, I was reading the description.
Making sure audio levels are correct before you start? Who does that? Not me.
I'm going to read that to you guys here, and then we're going to jump into the reaction itself. It says, after suddenly disappearing over 9 months ago without a word, I'm back. So not in the same way as before, but I'm here. With my face in all its teenage dirtbag glory, telling a story of why, after 2 years of obsession with Final Fantasy XIV, I've made the decision to quit the game. It's a pretty sizable tale with many nuances and reasons, too many to go over in this video.
One that people got mad at me for not giving in the comments. I also go over
my plan for the channel from here on out, as well as to see the future for me within the world of MMOs. Now, again, I hopefully, I want to always encourage that people make content. So this, if anything comes across as like frustrated at maybe some of his points or their points or what have you.
Okay.
Just note that it's all from a position of love. I'm going to pre-like the video as I do with all my reaction. I'm going to include a link to this video as well in the
So if he starts flaming me, it's because he cares. Got it.
description. I'm going to encourage you guys to go check it out for yourselves. I do something special within reaction content here on the channel. So if you guys have been following it for any period of time, you already know it. But I'm going to share revenue with the creator in this regards. That's just how I go about it. I don't see kind of a super thanks on their page. So I'll have to figure out how to do that if it comes down to that. But now let's go ahead and strap on in.
I'm the greedy
and
bastard.
Hopefully enjoy this video together. As always, you can weigh in with your own thoughts. And if you have videos, which I already have I have a long list of reaction video requests, and I will hopefully get to them as soon as I can for each and every one of you. But let's go ahead and let them tell the tale.
Final Fantasy 14. And I hate listening to my own
old
voice.
stomping grounds. It's been a while, hasn't it? Endwalker loading screen. Shadowbringers one was still better, but I digress.
It was
Players
better.
in queue. 16. Well, at least we're past the days of 16,000.
Yeah.
And what better place to load back in than an Ul'dah? That's the place where it all started for me. 2 and something years ago. Look,
Interestingly enough, that's where I think it started for me, but outside the beta was forced into Limbs of Lamenza.
I think we all hit our own voice.
And
Yeah.
so from that perspective,
Yeah.
I do have fond memories of Ul'dah, like especially
Who
from
doesn't
1.0.
love Ul'dah?
But we'll go ahead and let them kind of tell, because 2 years ago, I guess that's definitely Shadowbringers. And so there's probably a nostalgia trip that's happening automatically, right? For me, I still feel like Heavensward probably had the best loading title screen, and it's cool that you can pick and choose that in the game right now. You can set your own title screen.
Loki actually logged in.
Wow. Wait, did they actually make it so that you can choose it permanently from the vanilla client, or you still have to mod it? But yeah, as well, I just want to say, I just made this opening bit with the whole 9 months thing as a joke because I wanted to do something funny-ish. And I was sitting in Discord with Sammy Mashantha, who you see on screen here, and I was like, okay, this is going to be stupid, it's going to be cringe, but it's going to be somewhat funny when edited. It was not nearly as funny as I'd hoped it be, but I kept it in because sunk time cost fallacy.
Wow, it's only been like a month. Come on. 9 months. It's been 9 months. Huh?
There's my face. In a
can't be
different variant of this shirt.
I only took January off. Like, what?
I like how he's subscribed to Cole. Good
Oh.
choice. 9 months ago.
Yeah. Yeah, 9 months.
Guess I gotta explain that one.
Okay, at least the shit
Back
made
with
him
Final
laugh.
Fantasy
Saying
14.
shit. Fantastic. Sense of humor.
Hey everyone.
Very much shared.
My name's Lakaitim, and welcome to another video.
Look at him.
A heavily delayed
Yep.
one, I will admit. A
Thank
point
you,
that is
me.
underscored by the fact that I have said at multiple points over the past 9 months that I would be working on such a video, only for even more time to pass, in which the channel has seen absolutely nothing uploaded to it or even a post in the community tab.
Next dad humor.
Many others in this situation, making a
Yeah.
video after disappearing for months on end, may begin by saying they're sorry. Well, I'm really not one of them.
Such an
And frankly,
asshole thing to say.
I'm not sorry in the slightest. I simply did what
Christ,
I
Ryan,
saw
yeah,
as
double
being
down,
in
why don't
my
you?
best interest and what I wanted to do.
Good.
In this case, as you can tell from the title of this video, I quit Final Fantasy XIV months ago now. It was an idea that was in the back of my head for quite a long time, and one day I just simply logged out, canceled my sub, and never looked back. About 7 months ago, I reduced my playing time to only being twice a week when my static met and we raided together, and after that I completely went cold turkey about 5 months ago, and in a lot of ways put my life back together. Weird words for a just about to turn 17-year-old.
And there's
kid
my
to say,
dog
but
barking in the
ones that to
background.
me at least are true. This video was something I wanted to do since about when I cut the amount of time I played down drastically, and hasn't happened for many different reasons at many points since then. But as I finally feel the urge to step back into making videos, because despite everything, I really miss the creative process of that. I feel like I
Static
needed to
woes,
give an
people dance.
explanation for the months of silence to my
Yeah.
already somewhat established audience.
Now, clearly, here I am jumping in with some of my own predictions to this.
All right.
Stepping into the game, being consumed by the game, and then ultimately having the expansion and conclusion of the game. Like, you got to think about him stepping into this game in Shadowbringers, getting caught up into Shadowbringers, then getting and doing Endwalker, and then essentially kind of having that satisfaction in completing a game, especially this massive a game. It's been like 300, 600 hours, somewhere in that speculation, just in terms of the MSQ alone.
All right, so I should have made this clear in the video because I know that a lot of people have a mistake in it since, or have assumed something different. I started playing in 5.2. I finished playing through the MSQ about halfway through 5.3. I still had a solid almost year of no story of like only a update here, update there with story patches. It's like I played Shadowbringers like I had completely for like 2 or 3 patches, like I hadn't even done this story because I had gotten past all of it and I was waiting a year for Endwalker. Like, yeah, I played 6.4, it's not 6.4, 5.4 the day it came out, and that was about 2 months-ish, month and a half, 2 months-ish after I finished up the story of 5.3. So I didn't just go straight into Endwalker. I had a similar wait to literally everyone else for the next major expansion. I didn't just like blitz through the whole thing, reach the end of Endwalker and go, oh, well, that was all the story in one long go. No.
This happened to me with Heavensward. Like, I literally finished Heavensward and was like, all right, I'll see you guys. You know,
Yeah,
and ended up
that
taking a
wasn't me.
big break. And I think content creation kind of can complex that, because I wasn't a content creator outside the podcast. You know, at the time, I wasn't a YouTuber. I wasn't doing any of that. So having that aspect and that pressure and that the feedback and the excitement in the community, it can kind of feel like you're letting people down, you know, ultimately. But
Yeah.
you start to think about how
Definitely.
much time is being taken into it. And then also, then you start getting back into the loop. When anybody comes into Shadowbringers, like at that
Exactly.
point, they have a ton of content to do. And we saw this happen time and time again. And then all of a sudden you hit Endwalker and you realize the content kind of gets spaced out and it gets delivered to you over the course of, you know, every
I'd
now
already
4-ish
experienced that
months.
for 2 or 3
And
patches.
so then you essentially
so.
kind of have lots more downtime where you're like, well, what could I be doing? But I'm going to let them
And like
obviously
I
explain-
found that
explain it from
downtime.
here.
And especially while he's going back to me, I'm going to stand up for a second and go take a piss. Because that's another thing I didn't think of doing before I started the stream. Because, you know, hyper-intelligence. Wait, I guess do I even have a interlude scene anymore? Yeah, there it is. There it is. Took less than 9 months to come back this time. What a treat. Group within them that actually did care about me and the videos I made.
Yeah, that's why I
So
made the video.
here we are. Over the remainder of the video, I'll be going over many of the reasons I decided to quit the game that I loved so dearly and given so much of my time to across the pandemic. They'll all be timestamped, and each section is listed up here on screen in case you want to skip ahead to a specific one. But without further ado, let's get started.
Significant reduction in time to return.
Beginning.
Yay. I may as well just put the...
That was a really good job.
The
editing.
beginning of the end, unsurprisingly, begins with the beginning. Who would have thought? That's kind of
Down
how
from
beginnings
9 months to
work.
like 2 minutes. I know,
I started
right?
playing
Serious
FF14 during the
improvement.
early days of COVID. School had suddenly been canned. Everything was closed and I couldn't see anybody, and so I threw myself further into video games, seeking out specifically an MMO to call a virtual home and put lots of my free time into. I found that in Final Fantasy XIV, and for the next 2 years I would dedicate nearly every moment of my time that I did have to playing it, as well as at one point That was really I paused right when he paused. That was a really simple thing to do, all the photos montage, but I think that's like actually one of my favorite little editing things I did in the video.
You have him total points for being a Nelson. Anyway, we'll
Hell yeah, buddy. Point beginning to make videos about it. I would often joke as code began to slow down.
Randall, come on, dude.
Kind of come off the front burner. That FF14 is what got me through it, and that it's the reason I didn't even feel affected by the pandemic. I just sat in my room and played more video games, something that a kid who started playing the game at 14 loved the idea of. But that had a cost.
Yeah.
One I didn't realize then, but now do. I grew incredibly, and I mean incredibly, reliant on the game for keeping my sanity and entertaining me. It was
Let's not
all
go after
I
people's
did,
appearance,
sitting
guys.
in my chair from 7 till
Thank you.
midnight, anytime I could, and playing the game. I lived it. I practically breathed it. I dreamt of playing it. And as life began to return to normal, and I was expected to return to the standard life of a teenager, I was thrown for a loop, completely out of sorts and still tied to the game. Suddenly, in my self-induced FF14 coma, a good chunk of high school had passed. Any money I'd saved from before the pandemic was gone. I was in a crucial time for school when it came to starting to get things together for college. I hadn't really socialized with anyone in person in what felt like forever, and all I could still think about was the game. I was still a functional human being, don't get me wrong. I wasn't so absorbed that I couldn't get back to the way things were in most regards and push forward, and socializing wasn't an issue since I've always been more on the extroverted side of things.
Yep.
But the game still held quite a weighty hold over me.
Wrong way.
As time passed, that hold
Look,
stopped
it's
being
me.
because I was having a lot of fun with the game, and more because I felt like I had an obligation to
Yeah.
it. Which
Yeah.
I can absolutely relate to what he's saying. Obviously, on another end of the spectrum, being a father and having kids and responsibilities, but then in the back of your mind, your brain sometimes is just not letting things ultimately go. Now, this isn't necessarily an issue with 14. This is probably just an issue that some people like us have with games. They're
Completely
addictive.
not
In the social aspect.
None of
also,
the videos
like
about a
in-
14 issue.
Like, it's so interesting because that, as somebody who doesn't go out to bars and doesn't go and do all these things, is like having the ability to have a community and play games with that community is that aspect, an outlet for a husband, a father, a gamer, and this time of life, especially over the last 2 years. So I feel like there's a lot of interesting parallels to what he's saying, and I'm actually kind of very happy he's looking at this. It seems like so far taking this in a very healthy mindset and approach.
Thank you.
ties perfectly into the next reason I left.
The content machine, dude. I'm liking this guy.
Do you have any idea how all-consuming making YouTube videos can become?
Woo!
over someone's
There we
life when
go.
they dream to success making videos when they're given a taste of it, and then how quickly and drastically one can find themselves being jerked around and their mental health controlled by the numbers shown on an arbitrary graph.
+1,
Because
baby.
that, and worse, is how bad I got when it came to maintaining this channel.
Oh yeah,
When I
it
first
sent
started
me
making
for a
FF14
fucking
videos, it
loop
was
on the
because I was
daily.
determined to give YouTube another shot with a far smaller focus on a game that, little did I know, was just about to absolutely explode.
So what he's also talking about here, and unbeknownst to him, is that YouTube really likes that centralized focus on one game per channel. Now, doesn't all there's always exceptions.
I knew that in advance. I just ignored it. Like, I just fucking ignored it. I'm like, I was 13 years old at the time. I'm like, who gives a shit? I'm just gonna do what I want. Like, it's on the archive channel now. Like, it's not on the main channel. It used to be. But, like, on my archive channel where I put all the old videos, it's like, oh, that's most popular. Don't go there. The first video I ever made was this. A little playthrough of Breath of the Wild. I'm like, yeah. You know what's a good idea? Recording myself for an hour and 40 minutes. Uploading it to YouTube in one go. No editing. Going, see? This made sense to 13-year-old me. Fuck. Yeah, and I did that for a long while, and it didn't go well. And then I dumped all the videos on here because I went to streaming exclusively for like a year. Had more success there. I should just make a whole history of the channel video at this point. Jesus Christ.
To every rule in this regards, and YouTube is no exception to that, right? But in this case, what I've continued to find is that a focused game has that power. And this is a good thing. This is a really
Yeah,
good thing. This is
the
how
minute
we
I switched,
consume content.
I grew a
And
lot
so if you try
quicker.
to go too far, where that's what I do here, Gender Prime Variety, as kind of a controlled
yeah, Zane, it
substance
is
to talk about
very
variety. Like
mentally
there are
draining.
clear disadvantages that I put upon myself specifically so I can give you guys the raw data on that. And so we'll be sharing more of that, probably here, next year when I have a real good amount of data to share with you to highlight what I mean by that.
I went into making FF14 videos simply because of my love and adoration of the story for the game and the desire to tell my own stories about things I experienced inside the game that had nothing to do with any pre-established narrative.
Also probably a good
Both
outlet.
my commentary on the story.
That's a fancy way of saying that before Pint came into FF14, I wanted to be the FF14 version of Pint, but my editing, while it's not bad, is in comparison to Pint, it's shit. And also, WoW is a game where you can get a lot more of that kind of story content from because it has a lot more player emergent behavior than 14 does and allows for, unless you want to go ERP or RP, which is not my thing.
Story of the game and weaving narratives about my own adventures were things that I loved. And sure enough, other people began to enjoy those videos too.
Because it was
And
something
before I knew it,
different
my
in
channel had gone from
FF14.
absolutely nothing to well over 1,000 subscribers and making actually a decent amount of money in less than 2 months.
Yeah.
It was a dream come true for me. And I would constantly challenge myself to
I
improve the quality
resubbed
of
to
my
WoW.
videos,
I
from the way the
unsubbed.
scripts were written, the way the videos were edited, the subject of the video, and the idea behind it, and
But good
basically
for you,
any
Randall.
other
Have fun.
aspect. I grew obsessed with it, continuing to see the growth with each video and consistently high views in comparison to the video that came before, convincing myself that the dream was finally coming true and that it was only up from there.
It
Thus,
wasn't.
when things began to slow down and then suddenly grind to a halt, it sent me into a spiral. Suddenly, I was constantly trying to recapture that earlier success by making videos almost identical
I
to
was
the ones
playing
that had
Classic,
shown
but I didn't
me
have
the
time
great
to finish
success I
with
had before.
school starting back
Or
up.
trying new ideas or variants of content that could be made
Wow,
in
about 9
14
years.
that I was
Probably good for
interested
you.
in, but it kept falling flat. I was growing conceited and discouraged, and the taxing nature of trying to make a video like I was trying to make a week with everything else going on in my life finally caught up with me.
We also have commented multiple times that sometimes the more effort you put in to the machine, essentially, is the less output you end up
Oh,
getting.
yeah.
And so sometimes it's
Oh, yeah.
really not about, that effort. And what I've seen a lot of people do within Final Fantasy, especially on the content creator side, a lot of people come in. There's a lot of hype around the game. Hype cycles within Final Fantasy 14 are growth cycles. And then as that hype dips out, a good part of the community dips out as well.
Literally.
And so you could find yourself maybe feeling, and this isn't unique to 14, this is just the ebb and flow of content creation.
Yeah, exactly. Like the static video I did a year and a half ago at this point, it had been like going up maybe like a 2 or 3 views a month after hitting like 30K like a year ago. The minute the new raid tier came out for the second raid tier of Endwalker, I don't even know what it's called. It exploded again. Like it went up another 20,000 views or something like that. Like it was insane. It just bang out of nowhere. Also, I'm turning the chat off the screen. Come on, guys. But yeah, it's like it goes in those cycles, and that's something I didn't understand as much, but I think it's something I knew, but something I had grown at such a weird time out of nowhere. Like, the first video to really blow up for me was the introducing a friend to FF14 video. That's the one that first did stupidly well, and then my static one started catching up to it after a bit. And that was right before everyone started jumping over when around the time Asmongold came in. So it's like it was just ahead of the punch. It's just those cycles and it's just figuring them out, which wasn't as much my thing. Yeah.
And you find
Patience
yourself as a content
is
creator always having to chase the highs so
Yeah.
you can get paid, right? Or,
Yeah.
and that's where it's like from a full-timer perspective, like I have no judgment to those who have to do that work in order to stay relevant. You see it over on Twitch, you see it over here on YouTube.
Yeah.
It is the nature of the job. That's one of the reasons why I opt out of that.
Problem with
every
it
opportunity
artistically,
I get.
but
And it's
in
always
terms of
humorous
going
to me
after money,
when
no
people
problem with
accuse
it.
me of that, namely because that's just usually means that a video I made caught a trend, and you always get people coming in here, venting because they're angry about something. You know,
Yeah.
there's always something to be angry
There's
about.
always something.
Maybe try a little bit of, juice or joy. I don't know why I said juice. It is what it is. All right, let's continue.
it was
Nice,
also
we
then
happy
I
few
realized that my
reference.
experiences in 14 had been completely changed by making YouTube videos. I was constantly seeking out the next thing to make a video about. Often finding myself leaning into things I really didn't enjoy just to try and get a video out of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I tried to do new things or new
Weird.
kinds of videos I enjoyed making more, but when those bombed in comparison to the videos I wasn't really having fun making, I chose to continue down the path of making videos I didn't really enjoy.
Yep.
And were far less fulfilling to make. For example,
Yeah.
I spent nearly a month of my free time working on the Life and Legacy of Shadowbringers video. This was a massive project that I really did love making, but took so much time and then...
Yeah,
didn't
the
do
audio
well, so-
pops.
Then there was the reading negative F14
Oh,
reviews
God.
video. Something I decided
I
on
should have
in
just
the
re-recorded
moment
that
during a
section.
Stream.
But I didn't notice
It
until I was
quickly compiled
deep
and
into
uploaded
editing and
and
didn't
did
care.
better than
Because once I
almost any
I
other
thought I was
video
gonna get
I
like 10
uploaded
views.
in
Yeah, because it's
actual
negative.
months. Right before Endwalker released, I was
Gamers in a weird way feel like they're obsessed, obviously, with the negative
Oh,
side
we
of
feed
things,
on
and they
it.
say that they hate it, but then they still engage with it, which
We
is probably
feed on
why
it,
those
like-
videos continue to perform. It's like, oh, man, it's a catch-22, dude.
about ready to simply quit everything altogether and throw in the towel, as I'd finally accepted the fact that, for whatever reason, the whole cycle was becoming too much for me. I had become way too invested way too quickly.
I should
and
have
was
re-recorded
paying
this
the price
section,
for it.
man. Holy shit.
Endwalker's release reinvigorated me for a while,
Yeah.
and I decided to take January off from making videos of any kind, and laid out a vast Endwalker coverage content plan and announced it on the community tab. It was actually insane in hindsight. I wanted to record my entire playthrough, edit it down, create narrative-style videos. Like, what was in my head was trying to create an Endwalker-centric series in the style of those leveling through classic WoW
Once
videos that
again.
everyone loved, myself included.
What that is
Trying
also
to-
calling back to things that used to probably perform well, and so you kind of have this nostalgic view for how the YouTube algorithm and people consume content back in the day, and then you see, I see it all the time. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you know,
Yeah, mix of
all I
that
got to
for
do is
sure.
keep hitting go live. All I got to do is keep hitting go live," and they don't realize their human frailty and issues. Ultimately, it's a machine in and of itself.
Oh,
Things
yeah.
evolve, and you have to change with that evolution. We've seen the meta of reaction content, come in, and it might still be. And who knows? I haven't made a reaction video in a while. We'll see how this one does.
As well as a million other things. It just didn't happen. Of all of them, only the videos that directly ripped me playing through pieces of the story for the first time actually got uploaded, and those were my last videos from 9 months ago. The rest of it died, with me either never working on it staying in the conceptual phases, or ending up as another unfinished script, of which I had many. For quite a stretch there, only 1 in 3 videos I started working on ever actually made it to getting uploaded. And I had 4 absolutely massive projects in the background that I was working on that never saw the light of day. The failure of the Life and Legacy of Shadowbringers video really had a
That
bad
video
effect
really
on my
just-
confidence for those massive
I love
projects
that
took
video, but
as much time
yeah,
as they did.
so
And I
demoralizing.
stopped working on literally all of them. I regret that now, and I wish I had kept going with them, and maybe one of them will come back at some point in the future, because I really did like the concept and had the groundwork all laid out, but it is what it is. January passed,
Did
and
you
I
ever do
decided I
Hildebrand, the
wanted
first
more
part?
time of not making videos for my own sake. Then more time passes, and more, and now we're here. 9 months later. I understand all of this YouTube stuff was a beast of my own creation, and largely I will fully acknowledge it sounds pathetic with it being that controlling over me. But
Yeah.
it did. It had that control over me, and it's something that severely skewed the way I experienced the game and interacted with it. And one of the things that factored into my eventual just outright quitting.
All right, part 3, post Endwalker, nothingness. There we go.
Yeah, nothing.
Dyslexic can't read sucks.
Fair
Sucks
enough.
Sometimes.
Fair
I'm being
enough,
brutally
buddy.
honest.
Fair enough.
And will not elaborate any more on this for the time being. I loved Endwalker overall. That much has to be said. But I found that in many ways it was very underwhelming to me in lots of aspects.
Yeah, not
I'd
a
gotten way
shocker.
too caught up in the hype machine to the point where I should have known it would never live up to my expectations, but I also expected more out of the story and the way it was written. Overall, it was great and I did love it, but that ending sequence...
Ultima fucking Thule. How to throw away all the stakes in your story in one small section.
Yeah, the final act left quite a bit to be Yeah. That
Oh,
final act left
he bleeped the fuck.
quite a bit
That's
to be
too bad.
desired, in my opinion, and could have been vastly improved with a couple changes to make it far more impactful and consequential. But I'm
Yeah.
not here to debate or poke holes in other people's writing.
The man, like I think I echo that a lot. It just like everything kind of just continued. You know,
Yeah.
like it didn't feel like there was that much consequence. It felt like other expansions actually went further. And so when you start to look at Yoshi P's marketing of, oh, you'll go that
Kids for
far,
cookies?
you know, there
Maybe.
were obviously some real big moments. But when
Yeah.
it comes down to the core team, you know, it really just kind of ended on a like, yeah, I guess things
That
are kind of like,
happened.
oh, and then it's like, oh, now but we shouldn't
New
call
adventure.
them because maybe they'll think the band's back together. Like, I don't know. It just
The
I
band
hope
never
there's a payoff
disbanded, and acting
down the
like it
road,
did was stupid.
for that. Ultimately,
In the short term, we'll
least
see what
not
they do
right
with it
now.
long term. But
Anyone who watched a stream of mine in the early part of this year knows how I feel about it and what I wish they
all
had
one
done.
of them.
Anyone who
I
has been in
ranted
the
for like an
Discord
hour
call
and a
with me in
half.
the last 9 months when FF14 has come up has heard my rant about how they should have made the character deaths permanent for the purpose of closing character arcs properly. But that's not the it's not the point of this video. And Walker
Yeah,
just
it wasn't.
kind of
And I know
left
that
me
when I do make
feeling
that video, it's just
meh.
kicking a hornet's nest.
Not really like I'd experienced anything absolutely extraordinary. I'd enjoyed it, but unlike Heaven's Word or Shadowbringers, it didn't put me in a state where I felt like I had to contemplate a lot of things. Largely because I felt burned by many of the decisions made in the narrative of the Ultima Thule sequence. Yeah, it's moments where the section was incredible, don't get me wrong, especially right before the last dungeon, like the scene right before it. But I just finished with kind of an emptiness. I occupied myself for a good while with all the new endgame stuff, which I
You're
have
alive.
to say
I
was
am Deal.
great.
Hello.
But I kind of felt like I didn't have much to do after running Hydaelyn and Zodiark many times over and doing some more exploring.
because you
For
didn't.
the first time ever
Yeah.
playing the game,
That's how
now
it
free of the hellish
is.
content cycle I had put myself into,
The end game
I
in
found
this
myself
grade is
wandering
the end game in this
aimlessly
is
and
not
having any
great.
fun or really seeking any greater goal. I'd largely just lost interest in what the game had to offer me at that moment. Plain and simple. If I was smart, I would have realized that then and there and taken a break accordingly. But I pushed forward, looking forward to raiding with my new static that I had put together with my viewers when the first tier of Pandemonium came out.
Static's death and growing contempt.
My Asphodelos static was pretty good. I like all the members and considered them all friends, thus the way it ended and falling
Ooh,
apart in the end
static.
was very
Ooh.
upsetting to me.
Man, like
Dying
I can't
static.
express to y'all enough how much his story that he's sharing is the story that I hear over and over again from a lot of people. I know people who have yet to return to 14. I mean, after especially drama within a static or essentially not understanding how
Yeah.
the content cycle is, where it's like all of a sudden you're like, oh man, and then wait. That's why you see so many people dip out after the expansion and come back
Yeah.
with the new expansion.
It's
hype
very
to be able to catch up on
front-loaded.
all that content kind of all at once. And there's a value
There's
in
not
that
many
kind of
systems to keep
model
you
in a
playing.
way, you know, and something to be explored if you find yourself on the verge of quitting or just kind of burned out or not understanding why you're not enjoying, you know, Endwalker the way that you enjoyed Shadowbringers. Like, just note that that could be something you should or maybe consider doing.
And I don't like just friendships or things that I enjoy doing fizzling out and coming to
Yep.
an end. I'm not going to go in depth beyond saying that there was an issue we should have addressed within the group sooner, and by the time we did deal with it, it was simply a case of too little too late.
Yeah.
Unlike my first ever Statics Implosion, which was actually the first video I ever made to see any true traction, there was no drama or random bullshit with this one. And unlike with my first group, I missed
Every
hanging
time
out
I
with this
swear
group
he looks to
terribly,
the
and I
side like
wish that I
someone's
was
watching
still
him.
around them to this day. When things were good,
You have
there were
headphones
some
on,
of the
buddy.
best
Don't
moments
worry.
I've ever had interacting with people in 14 or any online game in general. But due to slow progress, which wasn't a huge deal on its own, but also the gradual emergence and worsening of said issue we failed to address, team morale was dropping, and it was dropping quite fast. I mean, it was a slow fall at first, rising every time it got past a major roadblock in our prog, but it eventually entered a free fall that we really couldn't stop. Things were past the point of help. I would have at least liked to have tried to do something
into his
before it
head,
was
say,
too late if my morale wasn't also at an all-time low. Because of everything, I had slowly grown an actual contempt for playing
Yep.
the game, like a straight-up hatred of it. Wanting absolutely nothing to do with it outside of the 2 days I would log into raid. I kept hoping that the problem would eventually just go away on its own. And then I was very hopeful once we finally dealt with the problem.
I'm not a
But
great
then
static
the rest
leader.
of the static folded like a house of cards.
I
which
can
was
lead
very
most
even,
things.
well.
Apparently not a static.
Yeah.
0 for 2.
That happens with statics, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. God damn it. With the static gone and a still very avid contempt for playing the game at that time, I just left. I logged out one day and canceled my sub, just wishing to be done. This was sad for me, actually, because I was really enjoying playing Crystal Conflict, which had just launched at the time. And if things had been different, I guarantee I never would have actually stopped playing and would have just become absolutely obsessed with Crystal Conflict to the point where it consumed my entire life more than 14 ever had before. But my enjoyment of it wasn't enough to counteract everything else going on in my brain when it came to playing the game.
What's
The
up, Blue Cross?
extended break. Yeah, his story
Those
feels
were a
very,
few of the big
very
reasons
similar.
I decided to quit the
If you
game.
want to link something, just
There
put
was
it
a
in
myriad of other
the
smaller
Discord
things,
server.
of course, like my hatred of how much stupid drama was constantly floating around the community at any given moment. But other
Something
than that,
negative.
it was really
Ooh.
nothing of substance.
Uh-oh.
That's usually where you see it when in 14 is that the drama comes out to play when there's longer forms of content gaps.
Yeah.
And I think this is something that's very true within any gaming community, all really driven by social media. Social media has that impact where it's like generally, especially in 14's case, in game, it's a good experience. Like they're really, they really crack down on making sure there's just not this runaway nature to the whole thing that happens in game. But then things like Discord, things like Twitter, things like Reddit.
In game, it's
things like
fine. Once you
official
leave the
forums,
game,
like,
holy
they have that
shit.
tendency to kind of like have that kind of
anarchy.
tribalistic nature with that is something that as humans we are all going to have to deal with, and that can easily then lead into drama, which ends up become something that a lot of that's what people are talking about. That's what people are watching. That's what people consume. So you end up having that that whole cycle over and over and over again. It will, I guess, play itself out into perpetuity is probably the correct word.
Free of the game as well as content creation, my extended break from the game these past few months truly began. And you know what? I
how you
had
used
what
the
is
Coastal
probably
Soul
the best
music
summer of
for
my life
the
and
break.
didn't miss playing 14 in the slightest. No longer putting all of my free time into the game, I was actually able to return to the other interests of mine. Namely, I finally got back to writing in full force, now having gotten about halfway through writing a novel that I've been toying with the idea of for years. And I'm really happy with it so far, and hopefully I'll be able to get that
Work is
published at some
completely
point in the
stalled
future.
on that.
Go, dude.
I worked out in the woods at a summer camp,
But whatever.
that I went to as a kid
I'll get
throughout
back
the
to
entire
it.
summer. And I learned a whole hell of a lot from that experience and achieved the goal I've had of working there, and I've wanted to do that since I was there for the first time many years ago. But with the summer over and life returning the way it normally is for 3 out of the 4 seasons, I find myself actually really missing making videos, and the passion that I once had for it is flaring back up, something that I feared I would never regain after how draining the last
that
time
was a
around
fear I had.
So yeah, I'll be back to making videos from now on, but there's still one key question in all of that.
Will I return to Final Fantasy 14?
So, will I ever return to FF14
Maybe.
and making videos about the game? To some, those may be one and the same, but to me, they are very different things. I
Yeah.
guarantee that I will return to the
Very
game
different.
at some point in the nearish future, though not quite in the same way or capacity as I was. When I come back, it will be at first to just sink my teeth into 6.2, going through the story and added casual content, but steering clear of raiding for quite a while and not
Yep.
spending all too much time in the game in general. I may slip deeper and deeper into the game and giving it more of my time as time goes on, truly playing it like one would normally play an MMO, but I'm not
Normally
about to
playing an
simply throw
MMO
myself into the deep end
obsessively.
right away after such a long break. The only reason I would come back is simply because I'm intrigued as to what I've missed, and I miss just being able to run around and like an idiot and chill out in those familiar environments and cities. I don't feel the game calling to me or trying to pull me back in or anything, and this time around, I really want to foster an actual healthy relationship with the game that doesn't just
Healthy
become
mindsets. They're
self-destructive.
very good to
Will I return
have.
to making videos about the game?
The most
Well,
MMO player,
that
basement
one-
gremlin, basically.
that one's more
or
complicated.
attic.
The videos I made around the end of Shadowbringers were largely purposed as to tie up any and all loose ends that I had left on the channel. And so, generally, I think everything is in a good place. Any series I had going got wrapped up at a solid point. I'd covered every piece of the MSQ in depth up to that point in time. My one-off videos that were relevant to the expansion that was ending were all out, and I finished 2 of what was meant to be a trio of Shadowbringers send-off videos, but the third one just kind of died. As of this moment, there doesn't really feel like there is anything that I could make a substantial video out of that isn't just cut out gameplay from a stream.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware.
Except for one video that I know many people were looking forward to, that being the Endwalker entry into my So I Played FF14 series. That video I can say for sure will be happening at some point in the future, that I will promise, but I don't have any idea as to the exact timeline of that.
Yeah,
As for
that
any other
timeline doesn't
FF14
even
videos,
exist
I
right
don't have
now.
anything planned at the moment. But
I have a
I'm certain that the
document
moment I
for
get
the
back
script,
into the
but no
game, there will
text in it.
definitely be a thing or two I do want to talk about and
Yeah.
will end up making a video about.
He will feel the pull and the inspiration, the excitement. Maybe people will want to know his opinion on a certain thing, and so he'll be able to freely share that.
Kick
And
the
that's
hornet's
kinda
nest
where
a
you
bit
get
more.
into a nice comfort level of not worrying about the numbers and just being happy with making whatever you feel like making
Yeah.
at the time. But I would, say that ultimately, when it comes down to it, in terms of growth, it helps to. There are maybe some caveats, some avenues to be able to make connections A and B and C, but yeah, like just make whatever you want, dude. Be happy with it, and yeah, it feels like he's giving him like I don't know, man. Like this guy is feeling like he's got a good head on his shoulders. Some things he might not understand yet, but the more you get into content creation,
What is your opinion
more
on this
some of these
controversial
things
topic here?
that seem weird, all of a sudden start making sense as to why.
Yeah.
Hell, knowing me, the minute I get back into it, I will probably make a video about how they screwed up the Ultima Thule sequence, in my opinion. I'm sure that one will be one that I definitely don't get any backlash on
Yeah,
whatsoever.
nothing
Yeah, just
whatsoever.
ignore
People
the
in
haters,
FF14
dude.
love when the general opinion is questioned.
Yes,
Oh,
that is a
God.
fact. All right, part.
They love
5,
it. Yeah,
the
totally.
plan.
If there's only
My
one
first
FF14 video actually planned at the moment, what's the rest of the plan? How often are videos going to come out? Well, I'm so glad I asked myself that question.
I also
in a
wish
way
I'd
that
never
is
written
supposed to
this
make it
bit
look
in. This
like
is
you
cringe as
asking
hell.
me. Well, FF14
I hate
content
it.
will still be a
I hate
staple of
that
this
bit
channel,
so much.
Since I'm no longer trapped in my own self-hell of constantly trying to make some new video about FF14, I am basically just going to make videos on whatever the hell I feel like making, regardless of how it does in terms of numbers.
Good.
As
Say
I am
that.
now, I really don't care about trying to make a new video that does well week to week,
That's gonna
which is an incredibly liberating feeling
Yes.
compared to where I was before
Yeah.
the 8-9 month break. There were so many video projects that I wanted to
cringe
make during
part
that
of you.
time where I was constantly
Oh,
working on an
God.
FF14 video that I just didn't get to do, and that really
So
sucked.
bad, man.
Those projects I didn't get to do are now going to have a far higher chance of actually going to see the light of day, whether they be bigger FF14 projects like I talked about that got canned, or just other projects about other things. I know for a fact I want to do a few videos revolving around a couple different Zelda games, and that has always been my favorite game series. I am literally wearing a Zelda shirt as I am filming this. I want to make videos about other games that I absolutely adore, like Xenoblade Chronicles X or Nier Automata.
Love that
I want to
game.
make a video capturing
Love
me
that
taking
game
part of the
so much.
NaNoWriMo challenge in November. I want to talk about other forms of media like books and shows or just anything else.
Yeah.
I might even make a
Shows,
video
also known as you're
explaining
not making a
different
dime
literary
because they're getting
concepts or
copyright
narrative
claimed.
components and how they work if I feel like.
Now, obviously, like if he was going to really kind of push, and this is what he wanted to do, ultimately the best solution from an algorithmic perspective
Making a
is
channel.
to multi-channel. And I know people kind of bring that up and ask me why. It's just you let the algorithm work for you rather
Yeah.
than you have to go about it. But him stepping into literary and movies and things like that could actually benefit his channel more than mine, because I really don't talk about movies and music and things like that. So ultimately, that's a data point that I don't have. So I would.
Yeah, I
more
definitely
power
say
to
I'm not going to talk about music or else.
Honestly,
I
me,
know
it
nothing
sounds
about
like it could
music
be fun,
theory.
but that's just being an English.
I listen to
nerd.
Machine Gun
Really?
Kelly and I'm like, hell yeah, this is
I'm
good
just gonna
shit.
Make videos about whatever I want, whenever I want, and make sure I never end up trapped in that content machine again.
Yeah, no
Speaking of
more.
which, how
Content
often will
machine
there
is
be a new
in the
video?
back. It's gone.
Well,
knows?
who the f knows? I'm not going to hold myself to any deadlines or be down
Yep.
on myself if I go too long without uploading. But I'm going to try and get at least one decently high quality
Hey,
video a month
Galactic, how's it
posted.
going?
Yeah.
So yes, you
Yeah,
can expect
one a
more
month,
14
maybe,
content and
if
the
you guys
Endwalker
are
video
lucky.
Specifically, but also other things that I hope you'll enjoy, but videos that I am at the end of the day going to be just making for me. A philosophy that I had when I started making videos, and one that I never
Music
should have
content
lost sight
boiled
of.
down to I like this.
So that's
I don't
all
like
for this
Yeah,
video.
basically.
That's why I quit FF14. Why
Except
I'm
with
back,
whole
and what I
genres.
plan to do. For
At
those who have been
once.
around my channel for a long while and cared about my content, thank you. I really do appreciate the continued support. For those of you who have inevitably found my channel for the very first time through this video, welcome. It's a weird place to start, I know, but I hope you
Yeah,
enjoyed
it's
this one
definitely odd.
nevertheless, and will stick around for the ride to come.
Apparently, there's like
If you don't want to
20,000
see
people.
anything I do in the future, well, you can always dip back into the purely FF14 content I did in the past and simply pretend that's all I'm still doing. There's a solid 70 or so videos and easily at least 24 hours.
84
of content to
actually. I
sift through.
checked
Well
after.
done.
It's a completely
Well
viable
done.
option, though one I have a feeling will be a lot less fun with the way I'm planning to shake things up.
Good for you.
So long for now, everyone. My name's Akaidum. Thank you for watching.
Makaidim.
Have a great
Makaidim.
day,
I'm gonna remember that.
and I'll see you guys soon.
Good. Please do.
All right, guys, this was a great video. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for sending it my way. This was a great video. Well said. And looking forward to what you make next, but no rush. Enjoy the ride. And the smiley face, because that's what I do. I really
smiley
enjoyed
faces, they're
Alakai's
always fun.
video here, guys. Again, linked in the description if you want to go check it out. Check out his content. Highly encourage you to do so. Seems
Thank
that
you,
he's
thank you,
got a
thank you.
really good head on his shoulders.
Thank
really
you.
kind of learning all these lessons, all like really kind of compact,
Yeah,
as
rapid
well as with the
fucking
hype
fire.
and things like that. Obviously, I think that there's still things that he's going to pick up along the way. And
Oh,
the
yeah.
fact is,
You never
he's a
stop
young guy.
learning.
He's got a lot of time that he could actually really kind of learn and refine this craft. And the fact that he's got just under 400,000 views, just 3,000 subscribers over the course of 85 videos. That's an impressive. Those are impressive metrics for kind of just figuring your way through it. Now this video,
Buddy
got
pulled
a
up the
lot
whole
of views
metadata
already,
on the
so
channel.
Well done. Hopefully you guys check it out if you haven't already. And hopefully you enjoyed this reaction and this discussion that we have here as well. So again, thanks so much for your time today. Hopefully you enjoyed.
Alright,
Hopefully
dope.
I'll see you next time. But until then, take care.
Fun video to watch. Definitely a fun video to watch. Wasn't expecting that. Yeah, like it. I'll leave a comment on that later. Maybe. Who knows? All right. What do you guys say we read some of the comments on this? Cause I peeped a couple of them earlier, and they're a fun little mixed bag. They're definitely a mixed bag. Yeah. I've heard the same story from many content creators who spend hours or days in scripting a video only for it to get lower than average views. Meanwhile, the video they lazily make in a free hour after one afternoon gets closer, breaks 1 million views. Yeah, it's an experience. How he butchered my name, I just laughed because that's a new one. Like Lockerdom, that's a new one. I haven't heard that one before. That is a brand new one. Yeah, most of them are just people saying that they understand that it's normal. Let's find the funny ones. Yeah, this guy just feels for myself and other struggling players. I do agree with the Endwalker story. Felt too like safety net, but it was made. Yeah. I hope they made more shock scenes that leave more impact to the stories. Yes, please. Some actual more impactful moments would be nice. People getting burnt out when they treat F14 like their only game. Yeah. That's this. I kind of agree with his problem with the no consequences for the Scions bit at the end. The fact that FF4 was a large influence on the story had me ready though. I don't think they need to wipe out every Scion, but each Stola set had a good story reason for the Traveler's call failing. Yeah. Oh, this is a nice one. I'm actually really impressed with the guy. No hate thrown around in his video. Was well spoken and concise all the way through. Quite impressive for a 17-year-old. 16. Not quite 17 yet. Many older YouTubers could learn a thing or two from him if his usual content is delivered in civil way. It is. Oh, boy, there's a reply. Oh, boy. Okay. Okay, when there's a long-ass reply to a comment like that, you know it's going to be a good one. That's when you know it's going to be a good one. All right, let's take a look at this. Oh, here we go. And we are off to the races. You're 16. Why are you, baby? Listen, I was born in November of 05. I can't control that. Buckle them up, boys. Here we go. I got, oh, dude. One sec. Alright, boys. We're good to go. We got the Chester's Flaming Hot Cheese Puffs. We got an empty bottle of Baja Blast. That is not any use to me. Here we go. I disagree myself. I found his analysis to be off, and I attribute that largely to him being a kid. Oh, boy! Yes, okay, thank God it's one of these. I love this. It's the good old... Because you are younger than me, I am going to disregard your opinion and absolutely everything you have said on the basis of not a counter-argument or actually thinking things through, but on the basis of you are younger. You are a baby, therefore you are wrong. Basically, I'll turn Twitch chat back on the screen. Should be popping out, I don't even know. You're a child, you don't know better. How dare you disagree with my decisions? Good God. Alright, well-spoken videos are easy when they are scripted. They're easier. You still have to know how to script the video to sound well-spoken for it to be well-spoken. I'm taking these off. You guys can continue to listen to music. I don't want to. You still have to know how to write in a way that... Oh my God, my ear's a mess. Ugh, why did I do that? Fuck it. Headphones going back on. You still need to know how to write in a way that sounds proper and that people actually want to listen to. Like, that's something you need to do to be, quote, well-spoken. I've seen lots of scripted videos where it sounds like the guy's winging it or they don't know how to read the script correctly, which is a major part of it. Like, scripting is one piece, but also being able to read a script is a completely different skill. The kid has clearly thrown a lot of his time into content creation, which I personally think is a little suspect given he did this during COVID and admitted he spent a lot of his funds doing this. No, I said I spent a lot of my free time. My savings got burnt. Keep in mind, I was just turned 14 when COVID started. A kid who's 14 years old, who's never gotten a dime of allowance in his life, and all the money he had ever earned was from a paper route that was once or twice a week maximum, of which he'd already spent money on things he'd wanted in the past. You don't have much money left. Like, my savings to that point were maybe $300-400. 2 years of being trapped inside, ordering things on Amazon or buying games, it doesn't last very long. And what do you mean? And it's suspect given he did this during COVID. Is that surprising? All of a sudden, I had like a 6-month summer. My question is, where were his parents in all of this? Wow, that's below the belt, buddy. It's like, you see, I am offended by this opinion by this younger person. Thus, I must ask, where are his parents to stop him? Disgusting. I was a gamer growing up. My apologies. My dad is a gamer, yet when I was growing up and was spending a lot, if not too much time in my room playing games, my parents got involved. They didn't control my life. They talked to me, mentored me, taught me, educated me. I use the internet, constantly learning. I maintain above 85 minimum in school, in all my classes, and then I spend my free time doing games. It's like, it's pretty fucking normal for a teenager who's trapped inside. Otherwise, I'd be out with my buddies, like I have been the last while. What does that even have to do with any? I don't know. This person's already lost the argument. Yeah, the minute you talk about parents, you lose the argument. Or the minute you say because of their age, you'll lose the fucking argument. I see a lot of this kid's video showcasing analysis was that external factors and how he approached life in FF14 to be why he burned out, yet he seemed to hate the game and opted, his words not mine, opted to quit. I never said that it was a problem of the game itself. My whole thing was that the situation in my life changed. I had been burnt out, and I'd had bad experiences with people within the game that had made me not want to play the game as a result. I'm not blaming the game, I'm blaming things in my life and social interaction. Not the game itself. The actual character of a boomer that hates the youth, yeah. Really failing to acknowledge that his own life choices led to why he's in this position. Okay, tell me if I'm wrong, boys, but I felt like half the video was me acknowledging things I could have done better in my own life that led to the decision, but things that didn't happen. Like, I was talking about my own life and holy shit. He went in and allowed himself to obsess about FF14 despite that the game and Yoshi P didn't want to obsess over the game. It's an MMO. It's designed to be addictive. It's a game I fell in love with and fell into during COVID, and it was what kept me sane. Of course I began to obsess about it. Just because Yoshi P, no offense, he's some middle-aged Japanese man, just because he makes the game and says you can take breaks, doesn't mean people are going to. And isn't, in my opinion, an excuse for not putting enough content in the game to keep people playing when it's an online monthly subscription game. If someone's defense for running out of content or running out of things that are interesting in a game or things that people would want to do is, oh, they said it's okay to take breaks. I'm paying monthly for the game. There should always be things to do that you want to do to enjoy. Yoshi did say, guys, please take breaks. But yeah, how many people are actually going to do that? Like, who are playing the game any sort of above casual? I don't know. Might be a bad take on my part. It's just the one I have. He obsessed about content creation to an unrealistic level and mixed that into the game itself, and it spiraled to the point that he hated the game and affected how he views the game, which I fully admit to in the video and list as one of the main causes. But it's not the game's fault, it's his fault. No fucking shit, that's what I said. It's his parents' fault. What? You see, this underage person made a decision on their own. And thus, the ramifications of this decision are not the fault of the person who made them, but they're the fault of the parents. He was addressing the casuals. Yeah, exactly. It's your parents' fault you quit FF14. Yeah, guys, I'll send out my address if you guys want. You guys can use, deal with it. Make sure I come back next time, It won't be 9 months. Might have a bit of a mourning period, but who knows. He has a lot to learn about life. No fucking shit. You can say that about literally anyone at any point in their life. It's impossible to truly learn about everything. Like, fuck. Look, nobody could have guessed how states would react to COVID. Ah! Oh, okay, he's one of these guys. Assuming, yes, it's because he was in a state that got locked down. I live in Canada. It has nothing to do with states. I love it when people just assume there's no other country but the United States because someone doesn't have a very obvious and immediate to sense out accent to a North American. Fuck. But family is family, and they could have done more to help him navigate this part of his life. Like what? My dad still has to work. My mom's still doing what she has to do. I spend time with them every day, but it's like you're not going to be with them for 16 hours a day. Bet this person a flat earther? Who knows? Could be. Get him to find ways to socialize differently and think about his future more than diving into FF14 like this. Yeah. I was getting social fulfillment out of speaking with people with like-minded. My bad. My parents should act treating me like I was 2 and put me on a Zoom call with random other kids in the neighborhood and be like, alright kids, here's your socializing. Please do it like this. My god. I didn't find his story compelling. It really looks like a kid who doesn't know how life works or operated, didn't know how he is a person, and let his personal addiction get the better of him, and didn't even properly assess the situation. And I did properly assess. I hope he does proper reflection later, because this wasn't it. Parents to break a lockdown? Yeah. Okay, guys, this is the sense I get from this comment. Tell me if you guys agree. Guy was offended by my opinion and what I had to say. Guy was mad that someone quit the game. Guy decides, instead of using a logical argument or trying to give their opinion, to discredit and blame someone based on their age. And then go after their family. Does that sound right to you? Because that sounds right to me, but who knows? We're not shouting, my body, my choice, after being asked to wear a mask at Walmart. True, dude. True. Yeah, most people are either agreeing, having their own tale, or being nice. And that's like, oh, that's nice, right? Like, for example, this is so nice. Mad props to Lokaidem for recognizing when something isn't working for him and making a change. I don't understand the mentality that some people have to play a game forever until they die. It's like, that's someone's being nice. And then this says, this guy says, I know how he feels. Sorry, okay. Loki is pronounced Lockerdom. Is that what this channel's called now, guys? Are we just calling the channel Lockerdom? Is that the new name? Is that what we're going with now? Is that the plan? He found FF11. Oh, good God, no. No, it's low-key dumb. Yeah, that's always been the joke, but I guess it's Lockerdom now. Oh, well. Didn't know I had a new name. Yeah, this person's being nice. Of course, it's low kid dumb. Oh my god. Oh, okay, here's another good one. Is this the same guy? Please tell me this is the same guy. Please tell me this is the same. It is. Boys, we have a full comment from the same guy. Oh my god, here we go. Here we go. You guys ready? Once again, we got the... Round 2, baby. That was the undercard. Now we're at the main event. So I disagree with large swaths of this video for numerous reasons. The first one being this. He's a kid. He just came out with the main point. Oh my god, he's young. How could he possibly have something to say? Children, you know, teenagers about to enter adulthood and going off to college in a few months. They are to be seen, not to be heard. The excuse to Return of the Kid. Oh boy. Yes, Sammy. I don't take too much of what he says as serious because he's extremely young and clearly doesn't know how life works. Fantastic. I'm choosing not to take him serious on the fact that he is a kid and obviously doesn't know how... Wow. That's assuming you're knowing someone. Fuck. For example, in the beginning segment, he talks a lot about how COVID and school being canceled was a huge determining factor in driving him to FF14, consuming a lot of his time, money, and attention. $20 a month when you don't have money. Yeah, no shit. It wasn't COVID becoming a thing that pushed a lot of people more into 14? Like, Leo, didn't you get into 14 especially once COVID started? My question is, where were his parents in all of this? They were downstairs doing their own thing while I was up here spending my free time doing this and then doing my schoolwork and other stuff on top of it when the little schoolwork I had. You know. I get he is 17, but for 2 years it sounds like they had zero impact on his life. I am not saying they need to control him. You kinda are. I'm saying they should have been guiding him. Look, COVID and the lockdowns threw everyone for a loop, but family and folks should have been a lifeline and continue to offer advice, mentorship, and community to him. Which they did. But what teenager in history, during a lockdown situation, has wanted to spend 24 hours of every day in a room with their family? not talking to anyone else outside of it, or not doing anything for personal enjoyment or fulfillment. Name me one. If you spent all this time being a content creator and on FF14, they should have taken interest. They did. They were actually very interested in what I was doing, and since I was having fun with it and making money, they were supportive of it, like good parents. If he burned all his savings doing this, they should have taken notice. He is a minor. Once again, my savings going into the pandemic were maybe $300 because I had just turned 14, and I had never gotten $1 of allowance in my life. So, fuck. Next is, okay, this is him repeating the exact same thing, literally verbatim. He meandered through the post-Endwalker content because he was too concerned with content creation. I didn't make any videos after Endwalker came out. Like, I was enjoying it for myself. I wasn't thinking about content. So, because of COVID, not doing anything else. It's not a fault of FF14. I heartily disagree with his opinion. You don't need to go opinion all caps when talking about the fact I'm not a fan of Ultima Thule. A lot of money as a kid, like a trust fund kid or just someone who was very good, young during a good economy. Who knows? He can have his opinions and feelings, that's fine, but they aren't factual. Okay, guys. When in that video did I not preface an opinion as in my opinion or I believe or some other term that's me showing that it's not factual? No way, this guy's under 40? Yeah. What I actually get from this video is that the kid leaving F14 is all on him, not FF14. God, this guy wants FF14 to bone him in the ass. Jesus Christ. I am currently on break myself, but yeah, going after someone tooth and claw about... Ding dong, your opinion is wrong, so saith the arbiter of opinions. Keyboard warrior right there. Oh my god. I do think criticism against F14 is fair, but this video is from a kid who doesn't understand life yet. You see, a human who has not worked the same job in a cubicle for 35 years cannot give an opinion on a video game they have spent thousands of hours in. Because he has not gone and worked at that job in a cubicle, or put money in a 401k, or seen his investments fall to zero, or his wife leave him and the kids wanting nothing to do with him and having to... Oh my... This is the kind of sense I get from this. Boomer yells at Cloud. Wow. At the very least, he's a very bitter Gen Xer. Oh, yeah. Oh, then another guy. Here's another fun one.
Ah, yes, TTS is still here, Lockradum.
It is still very much there. I'm just confused why we care why someone quit. I made this video for the people who did care why I was gone, and then it somehow caught on fire and all of a sudden has reached over 20,000 people. It's so negative in nature, except I said nothing negative about the game and was just talking about my own life and experience, but you know, go off. We should focus our attention to what we can improve in the game itself. If you quit, then your opinion is irrelevant to me. You gave up. This is the most fucking toxic WoW mindset I could think of. Like, classic WoW Andy mindset. Like the...
Oh ho, foolish child, your opinion is invalid forehead.
I know, please don't remind me. Okay. If you quit, then your opinion is irrelevant to me. You gave up. Yes. You have criticisms, but how dare you? Those aren't valid because you chose to remove yourself from a situation that wasn't making you happy or wasn't fulfilling you in the same way. That means that you gave up, which means that all of your criticisms are worth absolutely nothing.
I just want to hear TTS say ding dong, your opinion is wrong.
This person is an interesting fellow. And then the Ginger Prime guy said, sometimes you can You can find how the game could improve by learning why someone quit. Oh my god, it's a revelation! Who would have thought? People quit something because there's something they're unhappy with that didn't change. So they stopped.
I have made a mistake saying TTS was still here.
Who cares? Just people burning channel points. Guys, humans are evolving. We're recognizing that if someone quit, there's a reason. You see, the person above who this guy's replying to hasn't reached that revelation yet. Jesus Christ. This person says, you can, but I just don't think that's the healthy format to do it. You know, if someone...
I have 70k channel points, I can do whatever I want.
I might have to raise the price just for you, Sammy. You can, but I just don't think it's a healthy format. If someone's being incredibly toxic and screaming about it, like, this game's terrible, not giving any actual criticism, I can understand not wanting to listen to it. That's not healthy and it's not constructive. I didn't do either of those. I much prefer people who still play actively give critique on what can improve, how, and why. Listen, I only listen to the people caught in Bobby Kotick's little rat maze. If they're not still running around in the maze and they found a way out, which I wish I had the personal strength to do, I don't want to hear it. This person's just salty you quit. Oh yeah, 100%. It's just salty that I quit. Randall, you used to spend your channel points on the dumbest fucking shit imaginable. You only have 2K for a reason. Because TBH, I just know some better than someone who quit 9 months ago. That's fair enough. We were talking about the current state of the game, and I was critiquing a game it then had changed in the last 9 months. Fair. All right, who wants to read the? Fine, I would just say look at spaces I play actively. Yeah. What did I want to look up? Let's just turn on FF14 music in the background. It's more topical. It's more topical. Alright. But yeah, good video. Fun to watch. Now, do we want to read the comments that I got in my actual video? Do we want to read those for a laugh? Yes? Is that what we're doing here, guys? Is this what we're doing 100%? We're just going to go read those? Ooh, do it? Alright. Alright, let's get this open then. Let's get this open. But first, I'm going to go refill my water because I have no water left, which is not good because I have been talking for the past hour and a half and I need something to drink. I will be back in a minute. I need to stop using my phone as a fucking face cam. Jesus Christ. Alright, we back. I need to adjust the camera because it seems to have gone all fuzzy on me. Great. Great. Dope. I love that. All right, dope. There we go. There we go. We're all lined up again. All right. So, yeah. Technically challenged. A little bit. All right. So, let's just actually go to the video itself. 135 comments. Let's go. Also, I just want to show you guys something funny first in terms of analytics. So, oh my god, you guys saw how much money I made. If I go to Lifetime. So this is when I first started my channel. All the videos from then are gone. They started making FF14 videos. We started popping off. Channel basically dies down to nothingness when I'm still posting videos. It goes back up for a bit with some other videos. Then I stop, take my break. Then randomly out of nowhere, last month at the beginning, I have a great day. So I'm like, what happened here? And then I post that why I quit video. Best day in the channel's history. I don't understand this website. I've accepted that. But yeah, here we go. Do we want to sort by top? Or what do we want to sort by, guys? Newest? Newest or top? You guys decide. It is your decision to make. Top, top. Alright, we're starting by top. Okay. Alright, so, starting with top. Should we just read all of them or go for the nice ones? Because the top ones are all nice. If we want to have the funny, mean ones, we have to scroll. One brings shadow, one brings the light. Juicy ones? Alright, like the first one. This guy's just making sense. Your story reminds me so much of my own. I was your age and I was heavily addicted to World of Warcraft. I was active in... Yeah, so this guy's just echoing my sentiment. This guy's just happy I'm doing alright. This guy is just want to commend you having the self-awareness at a young age. Most people, because of my age, are like, extra applause. Fantastic. You're young and you're like this. Oh my god. I wish more people were like, you know, I'm like, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, boost my ego. And then other people are like, he's a child. I will not listen to anything. Weird meme ones and then wholesome ones? Alright. I fucking hate it when people say this, but I understand it. The Yoshi B said to take breaks, play other games. The Orzi will always be there. Glad to hear you. Okay, yeah. Okay, we get it. It's the old argument. But thank you for the nice words. I do appreciate it. Then there's this guy. This comment. Oh, I like this one. I really like this one. The fact that you are 17 and taking this responsibility and talking more wise and mature than someone in their 30s, don't judge, is very unusual indeed, in a very good way. You will make it bright in the future. Thank you very much. That's very nice. Hearts all around. This is someone leading an RPFC. Always enjoyed watching your F14 journey. Your content and video making skills is really different from others. Just sectioning off into parts makes it easier to absorb. Enjoy your break and hope to see what else you make. Fantastic. I do, like, I'm working on 4 videos currently. 2 won't be done. Like, 1 I'm shooting the footage for later, the opening part today. The other video is just going to be a November thing. Like, what I'm working on throughout November. And then there's another one that I have a script done for. It's for school. It's a philosophy video. It covers Pascal's wager, which is basically a pragmatism argument where some philosopher named Brian Pascal, I believe, he basically said he was arguing on whether God existed or not, whether it mattered from a philosophical sense. I kind of want to edit that down and turn it into a video for the channel, but I also feel like talking about the existence of a god and whether it matters is so far out of left field. I don't want to upload it on this channel. Recognizing a problem you have in life and then having the will and courage to make the change needed is a huge life lesson. Yeah, my respect. Yeah, everyone's just being nice, man. And then it's like, only just found your channel. Welcome back to F14. Don't pressure yourself anything. Just do what you enjoy. Smiley. So nice. If Yoshi told you to jump off a bridge, would you? That's the question. And this guy says, hi, bro. Glad you're doing okay mentally and physically. I think if you had kept consistently making videos as you were, you would have gone so far in the F14 community. I really do appreciate the sentiment there. I was for a year, and it stalled for so long. But yeah. Where are you guys from? Oh yeah, we'll get to that one. I know which one you're talking about, Gal. I know which one you're talking about, Wes. Okay. Okay, 1 second, guys. Alright, guys, I gotta go deal with something. I'll be back in, like, 10 minutes. I don't know if you could hear the conversation I just had, because I don't know if my BRB screen is actually working correctly. But, yeah, just throw us in the back tab. I'll be back in, like, 10 minutes. 10-ish. See you guys in a bit. Yo. We back. Sorry about that, guys. Wasn't too long. Wasn't all too long. Need to keep this open on the other tab.
Yo.
Yo. Oh my god, the actual proper Blink-182 is back. Sweet. Okay, I'm thinking, do we save reading the new ones for a separate day? And then I can go do things I actually have to do in my life? Or do we read them right now? Read them now? Yeah, it sounds like work. Yeah, sorry to string y'all along. We've been live for like 2 hours. I wasn't planning on being live for more than an hour. So, yeah. Bring this to an end. Who's streaming right now? No one I know. Alright. It's gonna be a hard end. Follow the Clips channel. Subscribe to the Clips channel. Follow this. Follow the archive channel. Follow everything. Everything. Oh, that bot doesn't work. Sweet. Arbitrary graphs make me happy. Follow everything. What the fuck is this? No. You can pay to highlight messages now? Ew. It's so dumb. Why would you do that, gal? Thanks for the sub, buddy. I need to add Twitch alerts to this scene, apparently. Oh, that's a different alert. I'll do that later. I have a lot of work. I want to get off Streamlabs OBS because it's shit. So, yeah. I'm just going to end off. Later, everyone. Follow everything. Watch the videos. Do it all. Go to the Clips channel. The new Locatum Clips channel. It's a great channel, I promise you. Like, look at this incredible channel. Look at this. Locatum Clips. It has 2 subscribers. Go look at Locatum Clips. It is a fantastic channel. You will very much enjoy. Goodbye, everyone.